Imagine being able to open the door of your backyard, just walk out, and having a full-fledged practice golf facility right in your backyard. I love the game of golf, and it's something that I take very seriously, but at the same time, it's a lot of fun, and it's a game that I see myself playing forever. And it doesn't matter what skill level you're at, as long as you're enjoying yourself out there and you're always willing to get back on the golf course, you're a player. But with that said, everyone wants to get better. Nobody is ever content with shooting the same score or hitting the ball fat, thin, chunk, slice hooks. We all want to improve our game somehow. But how feasible is that? Is it possible to really make a difference in your game? Most of the time we spend hundreds and thousands of dollars on golf clubs, balls, bags, anything new that will keep our mind fresh and make ourselves feel good. But will this make your game better? Highly doubtful. Because we all try to ignore the fact that if we don't change the way we practice, we will never get better. Which brings me to my next point, that in any sport you play, repetition and consistent practicing is the key to getting better. There's no way in any sport, whether it's basketball, tennis, golf, soccer, no matter how good you are, if you're not consistently practicing, you will never be at your A game when you step foot on that golf course. A lot of people seem to think, including my past self, that you can just practice on the driving range the day before or even an hour before your tee time to get your mojo back, but that's never the case. You'll probably end up tiring yourself out both physically and worst of all mentally, confusing yourself and disheveling your golf swing the night before you're on the golf course. You need to understand how you're swinging and know before you step on that golf course how you're hitting, what you're going to do, and what you're capable of. What I'm ultimately trying to say is that we need to fill the gap of our golf game. Now, what does that mean? Ask yourself this question. How do you practice your game? The majority of the golfers are bound to the mercy of the driving range. Practice for most of us means hitting off driving range mats and seeing where our ball goes and how far we can hit it. It took me a long time to understand that breaking 100, breaking 90 on the golf course has nothing to do with hitting our drive over 220, because most of us can't even chip or make a 3-foot putt. This is where the golf practice aids that I created will fill the gaps of your practice. Why? Because not only will you practice your drives, irons, etc., you will learn to focus on the more small but vital issues, which is hitting the ball correctly and consistently. I was actually amazed when I first made this platform at how terrible and inconsistent I hit the ball with my wedges. When you're in the comfort of your own backyard and all you hear is the wind blowing, the birds chirping, and you don't have the social pressures of people watching you at the driving range or having the disturbance of people constantly walking behind you and disturbing your backswing. You learn to start practicing small little trips, and you can learn and start to feel the compression of the ball. You slowly learn to train your eye and look at the ball in the correct location, and even learn why the club is shaped the way it is and learn what the bounce of the club really does. It sounds like a lot of information and a lot of BS maybe. However, imagine you can open the door to your backyard and just walk out and have a full-blown golf facility, on a small scale of course, just waiting for you. 30 balls a day, every day, will make the world of a difference. Now, not only will you be prepared to play on the golf course, even if you only have time to play once a month on the golf course, you're going to be ready because you have established muscle memory. Now you're asking yourself, why do I need to spend all this money when I can just buy a mat, place it on the concrete, and practice anywhere? That was exactly my train of thought before I started making my own creations. As a young golfer, I went through tons of golf mats, nets, etc. I have to be honest and say I was never content with it, and I always felt like it never helped at all. I felt like my feet were always moving around because the surface was different. I didn't want to destroy the grass, or the ground wasn't level, or it was too mushy, or it was too hard. Uneven playing conditions produced confusing results. It probably hurt my game more than anything. Where you stand and where you walk around. However, impact points are hollow, and you get a more true feel when you swing down at the ball because there's much more give. Now, I'm not the one to preach to people and say that this product is magical, because it's not. You have to put the work in to get better. However, if you're serious about your game and you're willing to learn new things, you will be amazed at how much you will change your practice routine and how much you will learn without watching any videos or referencing magazines or any of that. You will learn your swing, how to swing your way, and you will see improvement on the golf course, guaranteed. I literally watched my 74-year-old father, who couldn't even hit the driver 170 yards, hitting his irons only 80 yards and always slicing and hooking everything, and always hitting his chips fat and hitting it thin over the green on the golf course. He improved his game so much to the point where he hits his drives over 200 yards. His 7-iron is hitting 120 now, and he has so much confidence with his trajectories on his chips and irons that it literally changed his perception of what the golf game is. Before all this, he was standing over the ball, basically swinging at the ball and praying that it goes straight or high in the air. Now his train of thought is, how should I hit the ball? How high should I hit it? And where should I aim it on the green? Sounds too good to be true, right? Let me tell you. This didn't happen overnight. He literally goes outside morning, afternoon, night. His mini practice sessions throughout the day, but it's very short, maybe 20-30 balls each time. And that's all it takes. Muscle memory is extremely important in any sport, and if you're a golfer that doesn't break 100, you will learn your swing and get comfortable in your own skin. And while you may not be hitting amazing shots all the time, you will improve and you will see results on the golf course. When I'm saying filling the gaps, it means you will practice the things you never practiced or even thought about before. Practicing in front of people or in public is hard because we all want to look good and want to avoid embarrassment. And we just paid $15 for a bucket of balls on a Friday night after a stressful week of work, and you don't want to sit there and hit chips all night, right? We all want to smack the crap out of the ball. And who can't blame you? I can't blame you because I would do the same. Does this platform replace the driving range? Absolutely not. The driving range it's like apples and oranges. The driving range will always be needed to check your ball flight and hit some good, clean, nice long shots. But the way you practice on the driving range will be different. I personally never had a golf lesson in my life, and I was a horrendous golfer growing up, and my learning curve was very, very slow. It wasn't until I understood that we aren't robots, there's no set movement you have to learn that will automatically make your swing better or shoot the basketball better. Once I understood that everyone has a different body, range of motion, strength, flexibility, I thought to myself, you can't really teach anyone specifics about your swing. Just pure general instructions. And it's important to take those fundamentals, change it, and make it your own. Reading some golf magazines, telling you to put your arms here, bend your wrist there, move your hips, position 1, position 2, blah blah blah. Unless you're a single handicapper, all this information would just confuse the heck out of you. You have to learn what you're doing. Sounds so simple and really obvious, but you have to take a moment and learn what the club needs to do to make the ball go straight. Then move your body accordingly. Repetition is key, and start to fill the gaps in your practice, and I promise you, you will get better. One of the most surprising benefits I found from this practice mat was family. Actually, my son loves to do whatever I do, and when he sees me practicing on this mat, he really gets motivated to practice. And I get these sponge balls, these really plastic, foamy, soft balls, and he started practicing all the time, every single day, and now he's 7 years old and he's ready to go on the golf course hitting real balls. It's a great game. It's a great way to get your kids to play outside and take interest in nature and getting out on the golf course. You know, when you play golf, not only does it teach you the sport, but it teaches you honesty, integrity, and I think getting my kids involved with golf at such a young age is really important. I wish I started, I started when I was in high school, and I really wish I started when I was younger. I just wanted to thank everybody who stayed to the end to watch this video. Just want to let everybody know that I'm not any kind of professional golfer, or I'm not a golf store or anything. I'm a woodworker, and I made this training platform, purely for my family. And I just wanted to share with everybody out there. It's a great way to just unwind, just a place to go after a stressful day at work, or if you just need to get away from the daily stresses that everybody has. Young professionals working late, um, people with families, it's really hard to just find the time to play golf. Whether it's playing on a golf course or going to the driving range, it's really, really hard to find time, and which makes it almost impossible to get better. But, with myself having two kids, and, all you need is 10, 15 minutes to just open the door to your backyard, and now you have access to, all the facets of your game. And it's just been a great experience. And again, I just wanted to share with everybody. And yeah, you see my son here putting the ball, and just he just loves to be out there. It's fun for him. It's like a game for him. Again, thank you everybody for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.